Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for choosing our show and for your support. Kindly subscribe to this channel and share and like our videos. Ladies and gentlemen, there's this video that has been going viral. It's just a short video. Some people call it a brief story because it exposes the characters that are involved, and by a larger extent the people that they represent. Now, most of you have seen this video and I just found it very interesting. Larry Madowo, a journalist, was traveling around Nairobi, and then somehow one of the ODM members of parliament was driving on a wrong side, flouting traffic rules. So Larry Madowo deliberately decided to block them just to fix some senses in them. And then what caught Kenyans' attention is the kind of insults that they pelted to Larry Madowo. And I want us to watch this just again. I know you've seen it, but I want to remind you of something. People will always call you with the names that they feel befit you. So this member of parliament decided to call Larry Taka, and I believe that's how he sees people who are not members of parliament. Kindly take a look at this.
Peleka kwa Ruto.
Sawa, nitapeleka kwa Ruto. Juu ndio unaogopa peke yake.
Also alikuwa anaendesha wrong side. Nika block halafu kaniambia hivi.
Kwa nini alafu una nini? Kuza.
Peleka kwa Ruto.
Sawa, nitapeleka kwa Ruto. Juu ndio unaogopa peke yake.
Now, some people think that maybe this is making a mountain out of a molehill, but the caliber of the character that we are talking about, this is a member of parliament. His name is Honorable Peter Orero. And then this is a former teacher, not just a teacher, but I think a high school principal. We expect, so much decorum from him. And when we Kenyans, saw this video, they really reacted. What do you think about this video? Do you think this is just being exaggerated? And in my very considered opinion, I want to tell you why this video is not exaggerated and should be discussed. Because, number one, this is a member of parliament. He is a lawmaker. Those who make laws should also be in a position to obey the very laws that they are making. So he's flouting traffic rules. And he's doing it with a lot of impunity. And I'm trying to imagine, if he can do this, then what stops him from misusing CDF? I don't know whether I'm overthinking, but then we, look at our leaders with a fine-tooth comb. If they cannot obey those very small traffic laws and rules, then what makes you think he can obey those rules that we think are more even bigger than others? Because I think a law is a law, and there's a reason why they are made. Their laws are being made. So that caught our attention. The people are saying there's a lot of impunity. Even if you are caught, let's say you've been caught, maybe he was in a hurry. Sometimes people break rules, but there's a way you can behave remorsefully. But the way he was doing it, it is like he does not care. Why? Just because he's a member of parliament. Let me ask you, if he wasn't a member of parliament, let's say he was just an ordinary man, do you think he would have done that? I don't think so. But even if he would do that, I know one thing that he would not do: insults. After being caught red-handed flouting those traffic rules, then he says, enda uambie Ruto taka. I don't know whether he's saying enda uambie Ruto because Ruto is the president and now they are in bed with the UDA. I don't know why go and tell Ruto. I don't understand, because I thought maybe you would say, enda waambie polisi, because when you're flouting rules, then the authority should catch up with you. But the choice of go and tell Ruto, I'm tempted to think that he's telling him there's nothing he can do because they're with Ruto. I don't know. I could be wrong. But when you insult someone, and I told you the choice of the word that you want to equate to any human being is what you think of them. Someone calls you takataka. He feels you are a takataka, maybe because because of the amount of money that you get cannot equate to his, because he's a member of parliament and he's got some power and influence. So when you call someone takataka, that's how you see them. So psychologically, let me tell you, that is how that member of parliament sees or looks at Larry Madowo. You see, Larry is a journalist, so is doing fairly well. So how do you think this member of parliament looks at other members of parliament, at other constituents who are not in the caliber of Madowo, wale mahasla pale chini, kama Larry ndiye anaitwa takataka? So what about wewe ambaye anakurepresent na hauna kakitu? It makes me think, I am imagining that this guy akona madharau sana, the insult. And then we are looking at this member of parliament as a role model to the constituents, to the children, because members of parliament will sometimes go to schools when they are opening the buildings, classrooms, and they want to give some speech there, encouraging others. In terms of morality, when you want to call people takataka, it's funny. And some people will say that hii ni kitu kidogo. Members of parliament wanawanga watu pale kwa village, wako na goons, wanapiga watu sana. Look at that character. I'm imagining umempinga sasa, where you are opposing him na amekupata mali. It only tells you that the kind of reality of the society that we live in. People who are paid by our taxes, magari yao, members of parliament, I think wako na magari yao, they don't belong to the constitution, but they are being paid by our money. Their offices, the security, we pay them heftily as taxpayers. This is how they pay us back. I just don't know how his development track record. I want to believe that as he insults people around, maybe he can compensate that by the work that he's doing in his constituency. But that was so wrong. We need to show some decorum, some moral character, that when others look at, we could say this befits a member of parliament. People have really reacted about this and they're saying no. Hii ni madharau sana. Mimi nikushua angekuwa mtu wa kawaida tukana, but now he's protected. And the other thing I want to say is that when you see these leaders, they are a reflection of us who elect them. I'm sure when you see all the members of parliament that are in parliament today, they didn't contest alone. There were other competitors, but maybe because of bribery or listening to the de facto leaders or what, we didn't elect some. No, perhaps we didn't. We left out others who would be better than what we have today. And when you see someone, that's the real character of a parliamentarian, and it reflects on us. We elect them. They're as good as us because we entrusted them with the power na tukaacha wengine. And I don't know what to think, but that was so shameful. It was coming from a member of parliament. And I know there are others who are even doing worse things, but they need to be called out, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what to think, but we shouldn't have such characters. We really need to have people with humility. When you are in a position of leadership, we expect leadership and humility from you. Ja kuita watu takataka, And let me just tell you what Larry Madowo did. Larry Madowo was now mocking. Let me just look at that. Larry was saying, so at some point Larry was saying, habari zenyu takataka wenzangu, because Larry is simply trying to remind him that I'm a fellow human being, a fellow Kenyan. So if you see me as takataka, hata wewe ni takataka. And that's why anasema habari zenyu takataka wenzangu. Or maybe Larry is telling other people who are not in the caliber of a member of parliament, ya kwamba the members of parliament look at us like takataka. 2027 is soon coming. Let us be very careful. Let us know those who we elect. Otherwise, we could be electing people who are so proud. And you see, when you're full of pride, I don't think you can deliver to the people. I don't know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, but those characters must be called out.